The Zerg Splatter going off. Welcome again to another Evander game, guys. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, though, his opponent, the yellow Zerg player representing Team Alien Invasion. It is, of course, Hanfy. And his opponent in the lower left corner, playing for my insanity. It's your red Zerg hero. Give it up, guys, for Evander. Now, I realize the way I introduced them already shows a little bit of bias, but I will openly admit I do love me some my insanity. I've been pretty good friends with a lot of the team for quite some time. Evander, one of the, not exactly the newest member, but the newer guys I've gotten to know in recent days. Really glad to see him play. He's been putting on an excellent show every time I cast him. Hanfy, though, I gotta say, not to discredit him, Alien Invasion is this team that has been kind of like, I don't know, in and out of like amazing spotlights. Not like they're winning crazy tournaments, but I mean, they're players. Like, you've got really good people on that roster, and some of them just kind of disappear, then come back, then win a tournament, then disappear again. Hanfy, though, is one of the consistent players you see in a lot of Go4sc2, Zotac Cups, etc. You'll see him in a lot of the online cups, and I love seeing people who are dedicated to improving. Now, this doesn't mean like, oh, hey, he loses every cup, how's he improving? It's the fact that, you know, often these players, they will get further and further every single week. Now, granted, you're going to have that 1 week where you get knocked out early on, but you can't let that deter you. It's like losing a map on the ladder. It happens. You get over it, you keep playing. And Hanfy is someone who keeps playing. Now, both players going to go for the pool first, but Evander go with the gas pool first. Oh, Evander, how aggressive do you want to be on Star Station, man? Now, actually, Masan pointed something out to me a little while back. It's a little bit late for this course, but if you go for like certain timings on pools, and I think it's like 11 is the latest you can go or something silly like that, like you can actually get your legs out in a round before your opponent's overlord gets here in time to scout them. But of course, both these players taking fairly standard pools will not be afforded that opportunity. Just a cool fun fact that I have recently learned that I want to share with the world, I guess. Man, the expansion's following this up, so Evander definitely pumping out, or sorry, Hanfy, whoa, hang on. I saw Evander with the gas, I thought he was going to be the one going aggressive, but Hanfy with 6 very early Zerglings. Now, this is nothing too crazy, guys. This does not denote an all-in by any means, but this is him devoting a lot to doing some damage here in the early game. But, I mean, the fact that Evander went pool first, he's going to have a queen out, he'll have his own lings. I mean, really, what can Hanfy do with this other than just scout? And if you're just going to scout, why make more than 2 Zerglings, right? So he may try and chip away here at the natural. It'll take the queen some time, rather, to walk to the bottom of the ramp, of course. Speed is now on the way here as well. Evander can have that advantage going for him, but he's also got 6 of his own lings coming out, so he'll have 2 more than Hanfy. And again, this is an odd choice to go. I mean, the next larva wave, or even the 3rd larva wave from now, is like when you normally want to see players make those Zerglings, but okay, we'll see what he can do here. Spots the queen and is kind of like, well, now what? I guess I'll chip away at the hatchery. I'll do a little bit of damage. This will not be completely for naught. And if you can get the surround off that queen, if you can pick that queen off, this would actually be really nice. Evander was trying to retreat that towards the mineral line. Other Zerglings, though, at the top of the ramp. This is kind of a big mistake here. Evander going to lose this queen, something that really should not have just happened. And suddenly, those Zerglings from Hanfy go from being a bit of a waste to incredibly worthwhile. By now, Evander responding across the field with a lot of his own Zerglings. He's going to speed kick in just a second. There's the boost, the speed boost as he rockets across the field. 2 spine crawlers coming down instantly. 3 queens currently on the map. He cannot just speed his way up into the natural, or sorry, through the natural into the main. He's got those queens on hold position on the ramp. So Evander, these spine crawlers, I love the positioning Hanfy's taking here. Look at that. Pulls the drones, put them on hold position. He does not want the Zerglings to get us around off by any means. So instead, Evander going to take the time and actually focus fire down the spine crawler, give it maybe a drone kill or 2. Couple lings have gone down, but Evander's got to back off for the time being. He needs to get a baneling nest down, or he needs to get twice the amount of lings on the field, because 3 queens and a spine crawler are going to have no problem holding this off. That was actually really great out of Hanfy, guys. Like the position he took with a queen. You could also stick it between the mineral lines to get the same effect, but either way would have been out of the range of the I guess the 2 queens on the ramp, but still a nice hold nonetheless. Meanwhile, though, Evander actually getting a low supply block here. I think his overlord was sniped or picked off. Wasn't paying attention to that, my mistake, but little focused on the lings that did not quite do enough damage. And Evander, he's got gas now. No baneling nest coming down. Evolution chamber instead, gonna go for the roach weapon. So he's just gonna leave these lings outside the base here to contain his opponent for as long as possible. I actually like this choice. It's kind of, you're left with 2 options. 2 options rather when you have this many Zerglings on the field. And it's either you go super duper all in, or you try and transition into something that you can actually match with the Zerglings. Now, sometimes banelings are the optimal choice. So I shouldn't say the optimal, the easier choice in this scenario, but I like the fact that he's going for roaches because they are the optimal choice. Now these queens off creep, I mean, that's actually left a big hole here for Evander to get up into the main. There's a queen up here for Hanfy, of course, but Evander can just run into the mineral line, hold position, focus, fire. Gonna kill some drones here for sure. There's some nice drone drilling going on. Some very awkward hold position. He's trying to do a little bit more damage here. 5 workers killed, not too shabby. But of course he lost an Overlord for this, so the question is, was it really worth it? Not that he lost an Overlord, like he would have lost the Overlord either way. It was at that point where 3 queens were walking off creep. What can you do? But still, I guess making the most out of those useless Zerglings. Now we also have the Evolution Chamber and the Roach Warren coming out here for Hanfy, but of course his upgrades will be lacking. And in the early game, small amounts of roaches, those upgrades are actually a pretty big deal. Of course, most things still take like 2 volleys to kill when 8 roaches are on the field, but yeah, we'll have to see here. Weapon upgrade's definitely going to be a big advantage for Vonner. We'll see if he can hit, though, because it's very difficult to push with roaches as well. If your opponent sees it's coming, he's immediately just going to throw down 4 more spine crawlers and be good to go to hold that push. See our Ling attacking something. There we go. Drone trying to make the 3rd base. Ling will be picked off. Meanwhile, a little bit of a hit squad coming out of Hanfy. These Lings, of course, do not have speed as they circle around here slowly to the 3rd base of Vonner. Now, Vonner's got some Lings on the field. Should be able to take care of this. Yeah, speed. It's always fun watching speed because a lot of people confuse speed for winning. Like, you don't attack faster with metabolic boost, you just move faster, which allows you to get the concave off on your opponent when you take even engagements like that. I think that was a good example of just that. But now 4 Speedlings rushing across the field, going to see what they can scout, what they can find. But Evander's already on his way to +2 weapons. No real roach count on the field just yet. In fact, does he even have any? No. So Evander's really hiding his tech right now, and I love that he's doing this. I mean, right now, Hanfy, he sees the Evolution Chamber's been up. It's working. It's pumping. He saw that with the Overseer. He probably knows if there's no upgrades on these Zerglings, no armor upgrade just yet. Oh, man, Evander gonna lose another Overlord. I think that's 3 this game. But anyways, if Hanfy is a really, really good Zerg player, and there's so few people who can make this discern, the difference, just from like how little scouting information was revealed, but if he can see that, okay, my opponent's not got any upgrades on my Lings, on his Lings, he's had an Evolution Chamber researching, it's got to be roaches, he's going to have the upgrades, and Hanfy's going to push with this. And Evander has such a low roach count right now. This is quite scary. He does need to back off. If he takes this fight head on, despite having the upgrade advantage, he will be in some trouble. But Hanfy's upgrades are about to kick in. He's going to be fighting on even ground here. So Evander really not in a good position. He's probably honestly going to lose this 3rd base if he's not careful. His other roaches do hatch now, just barely in time. The hatchery being focused fire though by Hanfy, going to allow him to take the roach fight. But a nice base snipe coming out of Hanfy. We'll get back home with a couple of these roaches left alive, of course. Some of them will die as he retreats across the field, but all in all, a really nice snipe. And shout out to Aries 1066. That is an accomplishment, saying, I have everybody in my house GGing, even at things that are not StarCraft 2 related. Give you an applause, sir. But Hanfy now with a lot more roaches at home. Evander's also got the spine collar to contend with. He's got the armor upgrade going for him. It's 1-0 versus 1-1. He's really got to wait out those +2 weapons. They're seconds away from finishing. In fact, 15 in-game seconds. And oh my, did that look weird. Creep tumors, what are you doing? Ugh. But behind this, Evander's actually still advancing forward. He's getting the Hydralisk down. He's got drones on the field. Hanfy, he's got that small advantage right now where he's mining off 3 bases, and Evander's forced to sort of long-distance mine from that 3rd, but he is trying to reestablish this. Now, there's a certain number of Zerg hatchery snipes. Like, if you lose the same base 3 times, you've lost more than just bases, but so much mining time that it becomes almost impossible to recover off of without doing your own damage to your opponent. But Evander, spreading his roaches out, doesn't quite know which angle Hanfy's going to attack from, but he has a pretty good idea since this is the common attack path. Oh man, checking the roach count currently on the field for both players. Evander half the count of his opponent, spending a lot of that gas, not just on upgrades, but trying to get the Hydralisk out, and I really feel like that's going to hurt him here. The upgrade should play a huge advantage in his favor. It's 2-1 versus 1-0. We'll see who can take the battle. Hanfy's got the numbers, Evander's got the upgrades. Hydralisk actually rushing in for the back just in the nick of time, but they get focus fired down by these roaches. Of course, Hydralisk are very squishy units at 80 health, do not live for too long, even with armor upgrades. And Evander, without enough roaches on the field, I think might just lose this game. And it's only just barely. He doesn't have enough roaches either. Look at all these roaches sitting here in the red, sitting here in the yellow. Well, he is yellow, but it's not the point. Because Ivana trying to do what he can. Those upgrades just barely not enough. Hanfy's about to get his +2 to kick in as well. Ivana still got those +2 weapons near completion. But Hanfy, oh my god, he walked a queen across the field while all this was going on. Transfuses some roaches. Some combat medicry going on right now. But now, Ivana's got roach numbers on his side. He's got upgrades definitely going for him. And is going to drive Hanfy back. Did not really lose too many workers for any of that. Really didn't lose any workers for all of that. Mostly just army units, the supply dwindling a little bit. He's so far behind in supply. I don't know if going for the Hydralisk was the right choice. It's a tough call to make because Hydralisks are really good units. But if you don't have enough roaches to tank for them, this has been a problem since Wings of Liberty. Your Hydras just melt to roach damage, and it's not the other way around. Hydras supplement your damage. They don't make your damage. And especially in our big old-fashioned roach war. Now, Hanfy has his own Hydralisk joining the fray here. Going for Muscular Augments. Please tell me he already got Groove Spines. No, he did not go for Groove Spines. So, this also means Hanfy's looking to continue with the aggression. Because, of course, if you take the Groove Spines, you know most of the time, whether you're in your opponent's base, whether you're at your own base, you'll be fighting on creep. Which is why Ivana went for the Groove Spines, and I like Groove Spines first. There's so rare situations where Groove Spines is not worth taking first. It's always got to be Groove Spines over Muscular Augments, but let Rifkin not beat that into your mind. I'm not a professional Zerg player, so Hanfy probably has his reasons for this, and one of them, of course, is moving across the field as quickly as possible off of this creep. Now, Ivana boldly taking the 4th base while this hit's about to take place. Let's see the unit count. It's 22 to 16 Hydros, 37 to 20 roaches. Ivana behind in every aspect. Armor upgrades are the only thing going for him. We'll see if that's enough, because again, that number game plays so heavily into this matchup. And oh no, the Hydros for Ivana are on the front line. He's got a micro in the back. Roaches in the back, just scattered around, unable to do anything. Now micros the Hydros back, perhaps a little bit too late. More roaches coming up, but the defender's advantage definitely going to kick in here for Ivana. We'll see if it's going to be enough though. Oh, Hanfy, you rude guy, going to dance his army outside Ivana's base. And I say rude, I think it's funny to be honest, but either way, Ivana actually taking a pretty decent engagement here, but he's going to lose his 3rd base. A lot of drones going to get taken out here. The gas guys who goes down. Of course, gas is the most important, crucial part, but he loses the home fight. He loses the 3rd base. Ivana, as much as I love my Insanity, it pains me to see that Hanfy is going to knock out our My Insanity Pro here and move on in the Go for StarCraft Monday Premium Finals. And of course, I'm probably calling GG a little bit preemptively. Actually, Ivana holding onto this base still, but Hanfy's just rallying across the field. He's got this massive supply lead, 185 to 98. I would love to see Ivana somehow bring this back. I guess if Hanfy keeps dancing his units, they can't attack, so maybe, just maybe, he can snipe off enough of the army. But, GG, finally coming out of Ivana. Sad to see, but happy to know that your alien invasion champion will advance forward.